Is this thing on? Let's press start, everybody. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. It's Harley back at you from EpicTube HD with another live stream. Happy, what day is today? It's a Tuesday, also known as Kickstarter Day, everybody. What is going on? I hope you guys are having a great one. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm acting a bit of a fool already off the top, but I hope you guys are all doing good. Hopefully there's no issues with the stream. That's gonna be, I feel like, probably a big struggle tonight. Let's see how we're doing. Just making sure. Excellent condition. It's looking prime. I'm looking chunky because yeah, I've put on about 40 pounds this year. So your EpicTube Harley here is putting some mass weight on, which is crazy. I got to get rid of it, guys. I got to get rid of it. Anyways, welcome everybody to another epic stream. It's going to be a good one tonight. I know. I said I was heading back to the world of Pokemons, everybody. And yes, that is true. However, I've been telling you guys for a while that there's this other TCG that's been coming up. It's something I've been kind of interested in. I've been talking with the crew. We've been slowly watching it get developed. And today it's become official. Welcome to Nom Nom Verse. Well, not welcome to Nom Nom Verse. This isn't welcome to Wrexham, right? This is Nom Nom Verse, everybody. The world of Nom Nom Verse. And it was created by 3 people. Victor Larson, who is the brainchild behind it. Followed by Johnny, a.k.a. Moldy Potions. And Tessa. Many of you may have seen her at a convention or two. And they are the 3 epic people behind this brand new TCG that just launched today on Kickstarter. And it's doing really good, actually. Could it be doing better? Absolutely. Because it's got a huge plethora still available. But yet, it has actually killed it at the same time. How can those two work together? It's really easy. They killed it within the first 5 to 10 minutes. They had already met their goal, and they've doubled their goal at this point, basically. So it's doing really well. It's been very successful. But first, let's give a warm welcome to everybody here in the chat. I see right away we got Nancy, Emily Nancy. Sorry, why did I say Nancy first? You got 2 first last names there. What's going on? Or 2 first names. I guarantee you've never heard that before, just like I've never heard have I rode a Harley. Anyway, sorry about that, Nancy. Emily, see, I'm already screwed up, guys. Dumpster Fire, let it go. Welcome to one of my favorite people in this whole universe, TCG. Joker's favor. Welcome, my friend David Cotter. The Cotter family's in the house. Metazoo Menace, who's freezing his butt off up in the cold north. Congratulations to your Edmonton up there. Jeremy Edmondson, let's go. Zoo Vids, Eddie G Unit, Eddie GG, baby. Alec Taylor, I do have a lot of energy, guys. I can't tell you. Incoming cat. I had a couple of Red Bulls, so I'm a little pumped up for tonight. Sorry about that. If I'm coming off a little too annoying, I apologize. Anyways, we got TCG Baron in the house. How do you do, fellow kids? Everyone is doing good, I'm pretty sure. We got Kiba Rat in the house. So let's go ahead and get right to it. We're going to get in our guest here. We're still waiting on one of those guests to show up. However, let's go ahead and hope they're still here. Does this thing work? Because, you know, typically it's a dumpster fire here. Welcome. We got Johnny and Tessa on the screen. Hopefully you guys see them. Let's just make sure before we get going, because I'm so used to things falling apart. But it's looking good right now from my angle. And come on, there it is. It's working. I'm just making sure. Here we go. All right. Proper introductions for anybody who may not know these lovely people here. Up next to me in the top left corner, might be your guys right. Who do we have in the house? He's looking dead-eyed, man. He is looking tired right there. I'm not gonna lie, Johnny.
Oh, me? You're pointing at me. All right. Yeah. See, I'm not watching the stream, so I can't see where I am. So
oh,
I
that's
thought
right.
You
can't see it. Yeah, you're right there.
I thought you just
pointed
at Tessa.
You're right there. You're there.
Yeah. Yep. I
See,
see
I'm
'em
over
over
here.
So
But
Yeah,
what's
what's
up,
no,
going on?
everybody? It's really good to be here. I'm excited to talk about everything tonight. What a crazy day. I am tired, by the way. I am pretty
Yeah,
tired. It's been quite a
I can only
day,
imagine.
but an exciting one, definitely.
Only imagine. I had to wear the special Zelda shirt for the stream. I don't have a non-mom one yet, but you know, I figured this would be the closest thing, breaking out the Zelda shirt. And then who do we have at the bottom corner?
we got Tessa. Hi guys, how's it going?
We've seen you at a convention or two, I believe, right?
Yeah, possibly dressed as Spider-Man.
Yeah. If I recall, you were wearing definitely a Spider-Man suit at the New York City Comic Con 2022. I do remember that. That's the one time I do remember actually meeting you. And
Yep.
Johnny, I've seen him once or twice. Around the block.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, he's been around the
Mhm,
block.
mhm.
So how are
We've
you
been
guys feeling on this I see an ad is running. I don't know if anybody else getting that. Just know I thought I turned ads off for this. This is just to have a nice simple one, so I do apologize if the ads pop up at this point. I'm not making any money, I promise you. Anyways, so let's start here, guys. How are you feeling about this this whole new venture that you guys have gotten yourselves into? How are you feeling about that?
Well, I mean, now it's really exciting. Up until now, we've just been doing our due diligence to try to make the project the best project that we can, and hope that we can get enough attention that we can actually get our first round of cards out. That's really the goal here, is get things started, get people playing the game, and so that we can move forward doing more and more sets in the future. And it was kind of like, well, how's it going to go? Uh, are we gonna just barely hit the goal and then get some cards out there? And it was good, but we got to pull back and be really conservative, or are we going to absolutely crush it and be able to start all these other projects that we want to get going along the line? And we're kind of right now with the first day like this, it's pretty exciting. We there's still, like you said, there's still a lot of room in the Kickstarter. It can still grow quite a bit, and we've got some pretty cool stretch goals and stuff to try to encourage that. But also for us, that's really the exciting thing, is the farther we get up there, the faster we can start some of the other things that we want to be working on for Nom Nomverse.
Nice.
So yeah, really exciting day.
Tessa,
Yeah,
what do you got to say?
it's been a push. I can say it's been a lot of sleepless nights for us getting this all prepared. Um, I couldn't ask for a better team to be doing this with. I think it's just been a dream team, honestly, and seeing the success within the first not even full 24 hours has been insane. It's been so good. Obviously, yeah, there's still a lot of work ahead of us and a lot of ways to go, but we're feeling pretty good with the first bit of turnout that we've had. So we're going to be pushing the next month. We're going to try to get the project out to new eyes. I think right now it's been a lot of our current fan base. So moving forward within the month, we're going to be pushing it out to some new eyes and getting new people into the Discord and get them involved and just send the campaign to the moon.
Nice. Well, first thing I probably should have did was I should have said congratulations. And if I had my little stream deck thingy, I would have been hitting the congratulations button and it had been doing some screams and all other fun stuff. But congratulations on hitting the goal within the first. Unfortunately, I was at my son's soccer match, so I didn't get to watch it go down. Obviously, I would have loved to have done.
Oh, it was quick.
Gone live, but it had to be what 5-10 minutes.
It was it was like 5 or less. I mean, it was really fast. I got the page uploaded, and all right, so look, guys, this is my first Kickstarter landing page. I was figuring I was gonna get the thing up, take a look at it, make sure it all looked good, all the Photoshop stuff translated, everything was in its right place, and I submitted it, and then Kickstarter was like, well, we're gonna review this. And we were nervous. We were like, are they going to finish the review? Are we going to get it out in time? That was pretty high pressure. So we were all stressing. And then Kickstarter's like, you're good. Here you go. Get the thing out. And so I went to go take a look at it, and the money already just started running. And it was like, my brain kind of didn't comprehend it at first because like I've seen other campaigns do that, and I've been like, whoa, crazy, you know. But like to be sitting there, and I was just trying to take a look at the page real quick, and it was like, and just kind of ran and hit 100, which we thought was like, uh, a confident goal. You know, we're confident in Nom Nom, and we know what our plans are for it and what we want to do with it. And so we were like, let's see if we've got enough people who believe in what we believe in right now. And to have it happen that quickly was just like, oh, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. It was a surreal moment for all of us. Like we all just kind of hopped on a chat together and we're like watching it happen and we're like, whoa, like
it
just digesting
it
that
goes
is
it
it's
goes
crazy.
quick. That first push, I haven't officially done a Kickstarter myself. I've watched a few, and I have watched. They tend to always very quickly move in the beginning. They'll have that lull where everyone's thinking, wanting to see how well it was going to go, and then you'll see it probably another push again. And so I do feel you'll see a second push coming for sure. Uh, Hopefully we're not having any issues. Like it says error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain. Might be a little slow right now. It'll probably kick back in again. It tends to do that. But yeah, I think I think there was a lot of questions. You know, obviously everyone's leading up to the Kickstarter. I know a lot of people had a lot of questions they wanted to ask. Some have been asking in the Discord. Some have been asking outside of through social medias and stuff. And it's a pretty big ordeal to put a Kickstarter on to make sure that you get. You've obviously got everybody's confidence in it. Let me start off with this question. This might throw you guys off, but I think it's kind of a relevant thing to throw at you guys right now. I know Victor's not here yet, but how do you guys feel you're gonna battle against what has basically happened over the past, uh, several months? You know what I'm talking? If you guys know what I'm talking about, we've all come from that other side of the world. I don't want to say what it is, but definitely things have been given kind of a road has been laid, and unfortunately they kind of destroyed that road a bit, and so I think it's kind of hurt a bit of confidence in people. This is one of the things I've been hearing the past few days. What do you think you guys are going to be able to do to combat and get people to be on board and feel confident with going forward with Nom Nom?
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point, you know. There have been several indie TCGs that have kind of gone by the wayside or made mistakes or, whatever. Not going to point any fingers. Things happen, and different businesses have different goals, and things like that. But I think really what it comes down to at the core is like, what is the team, what is the core team, the creators who's making the game, what do they want to do with it, and you know how large is the audience, and following that I think is really important. Specifically, like knowing your audience and knowing what the right amount of product is to get out to those people and things like that. I think that Kickstarters are tricky because you're getting into this pre-order situation kind of right away. That's like, here's your funding up front, and then the product comes on the back end and you wait for it. And that's the beauty of it, because projects like this can get off the ground and actually like get a chance, and it's really good for visionary creative projects like that to get funding, which is one of the reasons I love Kickstarter and one of the reasons we're using it. But at the same time, that can create kind of a habit of the like pre-order model, or maybe you get the Kickstarter and then you deliver on the Kickstarter, but how much do you really have left over to move forward? Things like that. It's tricky, and it's not as business is never that simple. And so I think you just have to be really careful, and we intend to be very careful, watch our audience, pay attention to our stores, and grow Nom Nom steadily, not necessarily try to rush into expanding or trying to compete with a lot of the bigger games. I don't think that's the right approach. I think like it's all about this community. That's why I wanted to make a game. That's why Victor was interested in making a game as well. I mean, it was really his idea, and then we were just kind of birthed this thing together creatively. But one of the things was just this community is so cool. There's so many amazing people in the community, and I think that the community gets kind of there. It can be looked at as like a hot market or something, like something that you can make money on, and that's not really our goal. Our goal is to like create of course that's part of it. You want to be a successful company, but that's not like the end goal is to create a larger community of people who are playing games again. Because I grew up playing games in my local game store. That was a big thing for me and my friends. And I think it's a really cool environment for people. So, long story long, I feel like we're in it for the right reasons. And that's not to throw any shade in any directions at other companies. Like I said, things happen. It's complicated. I can only imagine. It's just we want to do it the right way, and I think we're going to move really carefully to do that.
Well put. Well put. I
Yeah.
like it. Confidence
And
builder for sure.
I think that just simply being there for the community is going to go a long way too. Like listening to what people have to say, running with the criticism, and compliments, like good or bad, just taking it and kind of running with it and making people know that they're being heard, I think is really important, and
Yeah.
it's going to drive our community forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think one of the things I know I've been telling people when they ask me why am I doing this, like why am I getting into another indie TCG and why I want to support Nom Nom, and it comes down to a couple factors, and like I said, one of them for me is the fact that I know two of you. I really don't know Victor. I never really got to see him when I was out on the road doing stuff. He at that point really, but I know you guys and I know Johnny really well, and I know that you've all seen, just like myself and many others. We've all seen the pitfalls of these previous concepts that tried to get going and just didn't go right for whatever reason it may be. And the one thing that I've always gotten from you guys is that you guys have all been experienced this yourselves, really. And so when you're putting your own thing out there, it really does, I think, give you guys a lot more clarity and how to move forward with things. I think as bad as things maybe have been with some of these other previous ventures we've been involved with, I think for you guys that's going to be such a huge positive by taking those areas where they went and took a wrong turn, and you guys know how to kind of avoid those pitfalls. And I think that's one of the positive things people should take away from coming in here and supporting Nom Nom, in my personal opinion. I'm saying that as Harley, EpicTube HD, nothing to do with anything else. I'm like a sports nut, right? We all kind of love our favorite team. We all have a favorite team, but I'm one of those people that can sit down and I can watch any team play. There's very few teams I just have a real hatred for. Like I just can't support them. But for the majority, I can sit down and watch pretty much anything and be like, oh, I'm kind of rooting for that team a little bit. Like I can do that. I'm someone who can get along with a lot of teams, and I kind of look at that in the TCG world as well, where we don't have to just love one thing. You can love multiple things. Now, whether you can afford multiple things is a whole different ball game, but you can love multiple TCGs at the same time. And so when people have asked me about why am I jumping into another a new TCG, it's because I love more than just one thing. It's just like I'm a hoarder. I'm a mass hoarder. And it's a problem, and you got to work with it and work through it. You can do the same thing with TCGs. I'll let you guys go ahead and take it. I'm gonna work on bringing somebody in.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. What you were just saying there. It's gamers don't just play one game ever. Like never. We all play a lot of games, and I think the point is to just show them something new and fun to play, and then be consistent with it and be like, look, not only is this fun, but it continues to deliver over and over again, and that's how you build a successful game, and so that's we're not trying to like overshadow other games or anything like that. We're not trying to compete with all the other games, even though of course it's natural you're in the same market, but it's just part of the game, you know. And we're just here to have fun and make something that people can have fun with, you know, and be able to continue to do that, you know, for our jobs. That's really what we're in this for. We all want to make games. We love games. So yeah.
Exactly. And like you said, I've said it. People kind of give me crap because I've said on stream how I just want to be like the best content creator I can be, even though I screw up a lot. I still want to be the best content creator. And I do look at other people as not only friends, but I also view them as, you know, I want to be better because I want the audience. I want this. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with competition. There's nothing wrong with trying to be out there, and there's nothing wrong with working with other people. It can all work for everybody. You know, just don't be scared of wanting to go for something. And I think that's going to benefit you guys in the long run because as I'm screwing things up here, trying to fit somebody in the screen here. He's not on screen yet. Just I can see him. You guys can see him, but nobody else can yet. But we're getting somebody in here real quick. Once I can figure this out. Now I'm just rambling. But is there anything you guys want to tell the community since you're in here right now before we bring in our fourth and final guest here?
One thing that I will say in terms of the Kickstarter landing page, which just dude, thank you guys. This is amazing. But I'll be making some improvements to that because, like I said, I didn't get a chance to look at it before things just kind of popped off there. So there will be some corrections made, and I did mention we'll be bringing another guest artist on who we will be revealing tomorrow, and I'm really excited about. But yeah, there'll be some things coming, and as the stretch goals get filled, I'll update it. But I've heard some things about readability, and I'm working on it. My first Kickstarter page, I'll make it more readable. I promise.
Questions and answers. Someone said something about adding, I think, questions and answers to there as well at some point.
Yeah, there was a Q&A thing. I'll look into that. I'm not sure if that's something we do or they do. It was confusing because it was like FAQs. So it's like, do we do the FAQs? But I'll figure it out.
All right. Well, I got it fixed. Hopefully somebody can hear us here. But first, let me just give a quick shout out and thank you so much to let's see here. I got a few people who threw some stuff at the channel here. Phantasma Official, member for 9 months. Thank you so much, my guy. He says, my guy, Harley, thank you for being great. Which I appreciate, man, the flattering. You make my head get like really like this, but the dumpster fire keeps me grounded, everybody. Just know that. Thank you to Sarith on the $20 dono. I greatly appreciate Sarith. Epic person who still probably doesn't even know who Victor is, but one day we'll introduce you. Don't worry. Big C out in LAB, or actually it's the LBC, baby. Carlos, thank you so much for the $4.99. Glad to see you out here repping the nom noms. Hope to see some gameplay vids, maybe. Let's go. And then, of course, we got a lot of epic people in here that are waiting to hear more from you guys. But let's go ahead and introduce our next guest. The one, the only, Victor Larson, the creator of this giant world of nomsters. Maybe. Come on, baby, work with me here.
You know, this whole time I didn't know you were talking about me. I thought we were bringing in a fifth person. I was just like, oh, who is it?
Pon.
I'm Poncho? Like making gestures, thinking you guys can see me and stuff. But how's everybody doing?
Yeah, I was trying to just get you fit in that stupid little square at the bottom. Again, this is the first time I actually upgraded. Nobody cares about this stuff, but you know I love talking about this stuff. I actually upgraded the Streamlabs to their little pro thing so that I could have multiple people here in the stream and it would work hopefully smoother. So investing in the future is what we call it, I guess, something like that.
There you go.
But anyways, welcome, Victor. First time I've ever got to actually talk to you. Actually, I may have met you at Collecticon, I want to say maybe in Long Beach. I can't remember though. That's the only time I think I may have actually seen you or met you when the one time.
I believe we have, but you know, those conventions are such whirlwinds, man. Like if we did, it was brief, but it's nice to Thank you for having me on here, man, and putting all this together. Appreciate it.
We're getting the band back together, everybody. That's what's happening right now. We got a hockey. We almost got a hockey team. You got a goalie.
Dude.
We got a goalie here. We got a forward. We got a defenseman. Man, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. I only use that reference because I know we're all from the north.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the north anymore.
You were pretty
I'm
good
in
at
the-
hockey, weren't you?
I'm in the cold south now. But yeah. I was a former professional semi-pro hockey player, which basically means nothing at the end of the day. I mean,
Dang.
let's just be honest about it.
I mean,
But
Means I probably
otherwise-
couldn't score on you. That's what it means.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could strap up some skates right now and actually skate. So.
Yeah, I'll
Oh my
take 'em.
gosh. But
There you go.
so let's go ahead and get into this now. We got everybody here. This is what I think everyone's been waiting for, is start answering some questions that, you know, people. It's always more comfortable when we're all face to face with each other, and you know, people they hear you guys. You're able to convey your answers, you know, with more context behind things, and let people understand why maybe decisions were made. You went left instead of right. You know, there's all these different various things, but it's great when you're in person and you can reach out there to everybody. Real quickly, just let me say what's going on. We got Misfit is in the house. Welcome, Misfit. Been a minute. And Tree Block, I shared a nice little place with him in Ohio about this time last year. Welcome, Tree Block. Hope you're doing well, guy. The Demon Fergus. Big Man is in the house as well. Well, he's not big anymore. He's been losing. Good job, man. I just want to say good job to Demon. Been on that workout. But let's see here. I want to pull up something real quick here. I had it on here. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So we start off with some questions and answers. I know I had kind of reached out to some people. Reached out into a group of ours on Discord. It's a small group of people, and I was asking, does anybody have any questions that they wanted to have asked? Unfortunately, I did probably only get part of the questions because, again, it was kind of a crazy night tonight with between you guys dropping Kickstarter and my son's soccer game. But let's go ahead and start off with just to ease people who don't know or maybe haven't done any research. As far as Kickstarter goes, now, the way it goes is once you purchase something on Kickstarter, they usually don't charge it until you've been funded. And so basically at this point, you guys have now officially been funded, correct? So
Right.
so that means that anybody who's now pledged will definitely get their credit cards charged, right? That was just one of the questions a couple people were asking about. I looked it up. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
So, from my understanding, we are successful. The campaign is a go. People will still not be charged until the end of the campaign.
Yeah, you got a big
From
head
my
already,
understanding.
man. We're successful? Jeez. All right. We know where this thing's going already.
So
Sorry, guys.
March 7th. March 7th is the date.
Don't take
the
what I
cards-
say serious. Sorry, guys. You're delayed coming to me, so I'm sorry if I'm stepping on you.
No, that's totally okay. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you too.
No. I was just making fun because you were like, yes, we were successful. I was just making a joke. That's all. I'm sorry. I do joke a lot. I'll try to cut it down a little bit.
Just make it funny.
I know, right? Jeez. All right. So it is successful. You said March what? 7th?
March 7th. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the end of the campaign. Yeah.
All right. So everyone can expect, if you're pledging into the campaign, March 7th, you can expect to probably see your charge. So just make sure you guys are good up until March 7th when it comes to that. Another
And you can
question-
manage and change your pledges and stuff like that before the end of the campaign. You can make changes. Like we'll be putting the add-ons up. Those were supposed to go up today. I don't know. I screwed it up, guys. I'll make sure the add-ons get up, and then you can add on more booster boxes and starter decks and things like that.
Okay. So I think that's a bit of good information for everyone. Again, I don't know how many people have ever done Kickstarter campaigns before. This is my first one that I've actually gone in on. I've watched other ones, like I've said before.
Thank you.
I think these are, like I said, I was just trying to get, gauge what people's questions were, and that was one of the questions people had. Another
for sure.
question before we go to the audience. So next question, I'm going to go to to the live on, but this one, will Kickstarter be its own set? Wait, what did he say? Will Kickstarter be its own set and viable towards gameplay, and will base set be separate from it, or will they eventually be the same? Are there any indicating differences between Kickstarter and what base will be?
Oh, Kickstarter is base set.
Okay.
These we're gonna, like we said, we're scaling to about 5,000 max boxes, and and then the other SKUs, other products. But we're staying at a pretty low print run. But this is our base set. This Kickstarter, we won't be planning to reprint this base set. Maybe in the future, if it's very popular, extremely popular, and like requested, maybe we'll do something or talk about it. But right now, there's no plan to reprint these. So this is the base set, and then we will just be moving forward with more sets after this.
All right, all right. I want to give a big shout out to Dean Streams, the guys from down under Australia. You guys couldn't ask to have a better supporting group than those guys down in Australia. Dean is in the house.
Best, yeah.
Thank you so much for that $10 Aussie super dono, probably worth about 99 cents here in America right now. But anyways, I thank you regardless. I have really bad humor, guys. I'm really sorry about it. Let's see here.
No, it's good. It's great.
Yeah, you're gonna hear probably like you'll hear a lot of "It's Sunny in Philadelphia" references popping out of me. You're gonna hear a lot of I just have that in me, I guess, to bring that stuff out. Probably at the wrong times, by the way. What is the set size looking at right now for Kickstarter?
We're looking at like around. Oh, go ahead, Vic. Take it.
We're looking at about 160, but that is subject to change based on the tiers and some of the add-ons we have. But I think it's safe to say you can expect roughly about 160 cards within the total of the base set. But like I said, subject to change. If we hit that 2,000 marker and we get some alt arts done by these guest artists, then that set number will change slightly. And then we did offer creative tiers where people are going to be stepping on and aiding us with creating some cards for the set as well. So, but roughly about 160.
Okay, so we're looking at about 160 cards for the set. Real quickly, Mr. Slicks is asking if we can once again introduce everybody. We did do it at the beginning, but we're going to do it again because we got a lot more people in here now. So next to me right here, we got the one and only, a.k.a. Moldy Potions. His real name is Johnny. Down in the corner over here, we have Tyranna Tessa. She's in the house. And then, of course, Mr. Victor Larson here, just below me, guys. And they are the three brain children behind this world of nomsters. Of course, Victor is the one who actually designed the first arts and came up. Now, if you guys want to know a little bit more, you can go to Instagram later and check out TCG Things interview that he just did with Victor a day or two ago, and he gives some insight into the world of Nom Nom. Tonight's stream is mainly going to be really consisting of what's going on with Kickstarter. Okay, so let's take a question. Take a question here from the audience here. So Kickstarter is base set. I mean, it seems like it's a big enough print run. East Coast Flipper says, so there will be no first edition. Do we have any answer on that one?
No first edition of like these.
I'm assuming after Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, we will be printing more cards moving forward, and those each set will be limited. So if you want to think of that like a first edition set, you could think of it like that. But we're not going to reprint the Kickstarter set as a first edition set, if that's what you're asking. We're just going to move forward with new cards.
Okay, I think that's what a lot of people actually kind of wanted to know was, is it going to be like a double set almost? So like Kickstarter, and then you redo it as first edition, but you're saying no, we're going into the next set.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh wow, I think that's gonna make a lot of people happy. I like that. I like that idea for sure. Um,
Heck
let's see what else do we got here. How transparent do you guys plan on being about the actual shipping dates?
So right now, what we have worked out with the printer is June 1st. That is the deadline we've set with them. So you know, as long as everything goes as planned, which you know everything's going great so far, um, you know, come March 7th, we should be able to pull the trigger and get everything done by June 1st.
Yeah, but if you guys notice in the Kickstarter, I did list it as a July delivery because we are expecting, there might be some, challenges along the way, things that need to get solved. So yeah, June at the earliest. July is looking like maybe more likely if we have any issues, but we'll communicate the whole time and stay transparent through all that stuff. As usual, we prefer that. We don't want to. We think it's better to let you guys know what's going on as we hear it, because we're doing everything the best way that we can to what we believe is going to work for the business. And so we're just going to let you guys know what's going on if any hiccups happen along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Which you have been doing already, just with the sample stuff,
Yeah.
the proto packs in the Discord. You've already been pretty forward with that. DB Royalty says the guest artist like Poncho and the rest, will they be doing more art for Nom Nom? I don't think, have the guest artists even been announced yet? I think people are just assuming assuming Poncho
They
is in
have on the Kickstarter. On the Kickstarter, we have some of the guest artists listed, and we'll be adding more actually guest artists to that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But to answer your question, as it sits right now, they will be just stepping in to fulfill these alternative arts. But you know, who's to say for the future? You know, I don't want to make any promises, but you know, we could definitely see more work from these artists in the future. Definitely not ruling it out.
Well, yeah, not, Pancho I think may have been given things away by his extreme activity in the Nom Nom Discord and stuff. So
We
I
love
think people,
Poncho.
yeah, I know, right?
Mhm.
Good person for sure. Which, by the way, Pancho, I had DM'd you something. Now I lost it. Dang it, where'd it go? Maybe I'll find it during the show. Again, it's a pigsty over here. But anyways, as far as you guys go, Tessa, Johnny, do we have any arts that we can expect from you in the set?
Not me.
Certainly for me, I'm helping Victor out with he's got the bulk of the base set, I will say, but I won't give away the amount that of cards that are done by me in there, but there is a good chunk done by Tessa.
Okay, nice. Nice, very, very nice. Congrats on smashing the goal from the one and only, the One-Eyed Crow. Well, formerly the One-Eyed Crow, now known as Cardboard and Coffee. Wants to wish you guys congratulations.
Hey, Ian, thank you.
Thanks.
Jeremy Edmondson says, our packing issues, aka non-alterating boxes, are packing issues already been QC'd or minor hiccups expected? Well, first of all,
now that we're having this, sorry, go ahead.
well, let's preempt that question first with this. Where are you guys getting things printed at? Can you say?
Yes.
Yeah, we have it on the Kickstarter.
Yep. It's a company by the name of Rex3. They're located in Florida. And yeah, we actually have already made plans to visit them after a successful Kickstarter to get all the details ironed out and, actually step in to QC ourselves and make sure that things are going to be done to, the standard we've set for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean that's already a huge plus, I think, in a lot of people's minds. The fact that one, not going to have to worry about, shipping through the Panama Canal or around, South America. So that's going to be a great, thing for a lot of people right there, knowing that we shouldn't have any delays really, unless hurricane season pops along. But anyways, yeah, I think that's a huge plus though, printing here in the U.S. But so now I guess that would pick up, and that'd be a part of Jeremy's question about, you'll be QCing them yourselves then. Another big plus. So hopefully that'll make a lot of people very satisfied hearing that answer.
And we'll most likely try to document this as we go, to keep that transparency up, and kind of give you guys the inside scoop as much as possible without giving too much away.
Absolutely. Demon Fergus is asking, are there any more stretch goals in the works if the 500K is met?
We definitely have ideas, but I suppose we'll cross that bridge together, and maybe we can gauge the audience a little bit on if we're already working on stepping in and start having to look for indie animation studios, and what can we do next? What was the next big thing, guys? I'm all ears.
Yeah, if you guys are in the
Yeah.
Discord, feel free to start dropping ideas. We're always checking out what's going on in there, so we'll take note of anything that really stands out to us.
All
For
right.
sure.
Yeah,
And
to us,
we
like
definitely go ahead.
the $500,000 would be crazy, and right now the campaign that we have can scale up beyond that a bit. We can because we really want to stick to roughly that 5,000 booster box run. We want to hit that we want to stick to that 5,000 number. We don't want to cross that. So that caps our campaign at a certain number. But the way that we built it, we can scale up beyond $500,000 by a bit. But if we hit that and we're going for the animated music video, like Victor said, it's like, okay, we got to get creative about what's next. Do we yeah, ideas would be good. We'll brainstorm because at that point that was like, that's our peak, right? It's like, if we go beyond that, we're gonna have to get creative.
So I put up.
We've been
mean,
talking
yeah.
a lot about figurines and stuff too, so that's a direction we can also head, as well as getting something a little bit more standard and available in those regards.
So I was just showing on screen.
Yeah,
We're sitting
absolutely.
at 189,278 right now. Extremely good. You guys did an excellent job knocking this out of the park, obviously. And like I said earlier, I think you're just going to see a little bit of a lull until people start hearing more. Maybe even after this stream, I can earn some commission here once you guys see a huge uptick here. But in any case, let's see here. So we're also looking at East Coast wants to know, what was the inspiration behind Nom Nom. I mean, I would again. I would say if East Coast. If you don't mind, check out TCG and Things on Instagram. Check out his interview with Victor. They really go over how he came up with the idea. Just gonna try to keep this, stream on the Kickstarter aspect with all the questions and things. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can check that out and you'll get all your answers behind the Nom Nom world here. Collectible stocks. Yeah.
Sorry, just on that point, we're also going to be posting an interview that the three of us did. We're going to put that on our Kickstarter landing page. So anyone who wants to know details like behind the scenes, how things came about, different aspects of the project will be available in that interview that we did.
Okay. Oh, nice. So it gets some extras there.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Collectible stonks. How will you handle reprints of cards, if any, especially with cards in base set? If there are no reprints for the Kickstarter, is there a plan in place to meet demand in between the sets?
Yes.
Good
Short
point.
answer, yes. There's a plan in place And the way we're looking at it is that, I think a good example, depending on what period of time we're looking at, but a good example of Magic the Gathering, they'll print cards and then they'll let that card not get printed for quite a while, and then they'll bring it back and reprint it maybe with an alt art or some different form. And I think that that's a decent model, and we're definitely looking at that. So you can expect that Kickstarter base set cards will get reprinted in some form, but which products they'll be coming in and which set they'll be reprinted in, it's not just going to be a reprint or Kickstarter set. They'll be kind of sprinkled in to other sets. Oh, nice cat. And
That'll happen through the stream.
that totally distracted me. But reprints. And in terms of like product releases, how do we want to float things between sets? We've said before that we want to do one big set a year, which would be, at least the size of this Kickstarter set, if not a little larger, and dropping a bunch of cards for you guys at a set time of the year. And then we'll have mini sets that come out throughout the year, a few mini sets. So like a mini set, rather than being 150 plus cards, a mini set would be more like 40 to 80 cards, somewhere in there. And these will be new functional cards, things that we can use to kind of steer the meta and pay attention to cards that are getting played, what's getting overpowered, and kind of correct throughout the year. And also offer some products that are similar to like Secret Lair, like Magic Secret Lair idea, where they bring in a guest artist to draw in their style, some existing cards or maybe some new cards. That's definitely one of the things that we'd like to do too. But I know I speak for Victor and I both when like you can expect these products to be really fun. We want to theme especially these mini sets and collector boxes with the alt art and things. We want to really make it like fun for you guys and make it a collector piece that's going to look good on the shelf.
All right, and I think that kind of also would swing into the next question. With that being said, so are we going to avoid a reserve list for the player base on this, in the beginning stages then?
I think you have to in the beginning stages. I mean, I don't want to say you have to. I don't know. But my opinion is, we'll wait a minute and we're going to be establishing, like we said, so many new cards is the focus. Part of the reserve list, reserve lists are great for letting people know instantly what you're not going to be reprinting in the future, obviously, for those of you guys who aren't sure what a reserve list is. But we're just gonna hold off on that for a minute. I'm not gonna say that like any particular card is definitely not going to be reprinted right now. If we get to that point, we'll announce that and we'll make it known everybody what the reserve list is. But that's not currently in our game plan.
I think a lot of the player base from the interactions that I've had with them will be very happy to hear that answer. I think a lot of, even from my time, for those who may not know who I am exactly, I'm not exactly a player. I am a collector and basically a YouTuber. Basically, I make videos and stuff. But I made it part of my tool, right? I put it in my toolbox to understand and learn more about game aspects, last year, especially since I went to a lot of conventions and events. And the one thing I always heard people was always the reserve list issue. People didn't like that. So I think it's good to hear that that's not something in the works right now. It seems like that's a pretty consistent thought amongst a lot of the player base. So that's probably another really good plus for a lot of people out there from the player base side. You have, speaking of which, you do have, it's not just you guys really doing it. You've actually got some external help with developing this game as well, right? Like, not necessarily developing the game, but helping find issues in the game and stuff.
I mean, we have a playtesting team right now that we actually did on a volunteer basis. Yeah, we had people apply to be a playtester, and I reviewed over the applications, and we put together a team who've been really helping me kind of just figure out the balance for this, because it's such a new type of game. It's hard to tell sometimes which cards are going to be really, really powerful or really tricky.
Okay. Yeah, again, that was just another thing I think people, wanted to know how you guys have been developing that aspect of Nom Nom so far. Let's see. We have a bunch more questions here. Let's see, Mr. Slicks. I know, right? You can't. There's one thing you're not going to do. You're not going to stop the third aspect of any hobby in collecting, and that is people who are solely in it to invest and do something with it. It's just that's something you got to try to work with. Um, with that being said, that kind of brings me to a question I was thinking about earlier, and that is, how are you guys planning your distribution? Have you picked a company yet? Has that even come across your guys' desk to go, to get a distributor that'll work as a middleman, or are you guys planning doing things straight on?
So, as much as we'd like to take things head on, that would be a pretty large endeavor. Just speaking from experience from packing doorways and Halloween's, like, whoa.
Yeah.
um, it has, we have spoken with two different companies we'll most likely go with, maybe both eventually. But we do have two lined up. Um, One is Johnny uh, Cardio.
Yeah, we're speaking with Cardio right now, and like you said, one other company for in terms of like our distribution that'll warehouse the stuff and then get the fulfillment taken care of. Cardio's done some really good work recently with Rise and a few other several other TCGs,
Oh
um,
wow.
and they offered to help us out. Yeah, they're doing a good job with the fulfillment. So
I did not know that Chris and the team had delved into that world, the distribution world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, in addition to all the Play Network and online stuff that they're doing, so
Yeah, that's
it's very
pretty much right.
helpful for indie TCGs. Very helpful because then we don't have to run to try to get one of the big distributors to pay attention to us or anything. We can work with these guys for now while we figure out how to scale things up. You know, like I said, slow and steady. Just keep don't overstep. Don't do something crazy. Stick with what works, and then just keep kind of doubling down. Well, not quite doubling down.
I think we know what you mean.
But yeah, I think it's important for us to get distribution under control, especially if we want to hit that July fulfillment date for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, because I mean, I think we can all, I think everyone can all agree that 2001 Channel Fireballs, we definitely don't need any of that around anymore. Um, I don't mean to bring up old stuff like that, but it had, the thing is that it had such a huge impact, I think, to all of the TCG world, um, in the way they were handling their business, and how it affected other companies. And so, obviously, I think that's a huge thing to try and avoid things like that. Is I'm trying to think, is there a way where when, you can, they can basically monitor through the distros to make sure that they're, putting out the product they send you? Is that something you've thought about? Is this maybe just something coming up now that maybe that's an idea to think about in the future, just to make sure that you don't have like a Channel Fireball who's basically hoarding things away, to prop up the market, and then they released it at quadruple prices, you know what I mean? You think maybe that's something that you guys have kind of talked about already, or maybe that's something you can look at in the future and be like, yeah, we're going to monitor that to make sure whoever we choose, they're distributing properly, keeping the market happy, and prices where they're not outpricing your player base and your collector base.
Right. Well, we're learning as we go. Definitely. We haven't currently worked with any of the big distributors yet, and things work differently when you work with those big distributors. They get product up, like you have to be on an upfront model to make that work in terms of like you have all your finances upfront for all the product and everything like that, because they're going to hold it for up to 30 days before they pay you. There's all kinds of complications like that working with the bigger distributors. And also, they're not really the issue, like with the Channel Fireball situation. That's the online, massive direct to consumer shops that are kind of squeezing on LGSs right now, and we don't want to say that we like have the solution to that, but we're definitely in this to help LGSs. Like I said, I grew up playing games at an LGS. That's a big thing for me, and I think it's a great community builder for people. I think it's a great place to go hang out and make friends, and use your brain and be competitive, and it's a great environment for kids and all kinds of people. I love LGS, so we want to help LGS more than we want to help these massive online distributors. So
That's like a
like I said, we're
weird.
not we don't want to scale up our operation too quickly, and that would be one of the steps to scale really quickly, would be get a big online distributor to help us. But like I said, we want to stay more focused on trying to build the community and help out the stores and make this something that people really love and want to support and help grow, like on an organic kind of grassrootsy level with shops and players. Because I think the player community gets overlooked sometimes with the indie TCGs especially, and we just want to like try to really focus in on that and make that work.
And just to add on to that too, from the beginning, we've kind of built up this very hands-on model with how we plan to run Nom Nom Verse, as Senpai Studio. And so I also think that's going to help out with a lot of, these things that are quite common with, scaling too big, too fast, and losing control of the project. I think, with us and our, desire to stay hands-on and keep it hands-on, and I believe we'll be able to grow naturally and keep, our eyes on like the whole operation as well.
Yeah, it's definitely strange to hear you take that kind of line of thinking that you'd want to support an LGS, but I guess that's what
Crazy,
you guys want to
right?
do.
I don't know.
It is.
I know that I know everybody's like that, not everybody, but you see people on YouTube and stuff that are like, the time of the LGS is over or whatever. And I don't know. I know that it's tough to run a brick and mortar. I know it is, but I also know that bringing those players in and getting a community going, like, is the lifeblood of those LGSs. And especially since, the whole COVID thing, it went crazy, and so like I want to help them. I want to help those LGSs and try to get more people back in there.
I have made it a war against all stores and everywhere that when I go into a store, I go to the checkout line with a person at it. I don't know. Somewhere that equates into there, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like old school or something. We're not trying to do something crazy here. There will be online sales of our product, I'm sure. But we really want to find ways to integrate LGS. Like, I think using LGS as event centers for local play
100%.
and supporting that, officially supporting that, like with prizing and stuff. Some other games have done that well, and I think that that's like what you do. You hook up the LGS so that they can hook up the players, and then you create a community where people come in there and buy cards, and it flows. Just gotta get it flowing again.
It's very
with the right
important, yeah.
ingredients.
That's huge for LGSs. I mean, before I joined the Nom Nom team, like I left my job. I was a manager at an LGS before I left to work for Nom Nom. But having something like that would have been huge for us at that store, to have people who are willing to come and bring something new and exciting into a store, and like just bring traffic in for both the game and for the store that they're hosting at. I think that's really huge.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. I mean, it not only helps the store bring in traffic specifically for you, but for anything else that they might be having in there. Someone might walk in and see something that catches their eye, and yeah, it works in weird ways like that when you have an actual brick and mortar. And nothing against. Go ahead.
It's something that's becoming quite common with like voice actors and stuff as well. It seems like some of these LGSs have got their finger on the pulse, and they're, people you go to conventions, you know, any convention you've gone to, if there's voice actors, and especially a very popular one, um, they got the longest lines there, and you know, they're just
Yeah.
one person, you know, with a talented voice, and so you know, a lot of these LGSs are starting to invite these voice actors out to their stores to do these pop-up events, and they're quite successful, and you know, we're lucky to have someone like Bryce Peppenbrook on the project as well.
Yeah, big
Um,
name, big name.
I'm sure you guys all heard his voice in our Kickstarter video, and probably have seen some things pertaining to him eventually doing the voice of our boy Ralph. But what you guys might not know is he's actually done quite a bit of consultation with us, and like really he's a really bright guy, very kind, very bright, and he really has vision when it comes to events and how to push some of these models, these more obscure models, because you know, since he lives in that sphere, you know, it's like he's got to be innovative and figure out how to be more a part of the community and stuff, because you know, people do worship these voice actors, you know, for their favorite animes and stuff, but Bryce has told me too that, like, yeah, he's part of these things, but he had no part in the creation of it, you know. There's no personal mark that, you know, is left behind other than, you know, vocal talent. So I think it's you know, cool that um, you know, to think outside of the box here, to get some of these pop-up events going, and that's why I thought it would be really awesome to offer this, you know, because everybody wants, are you going to this convention, are you going to this convention? It's like, how about we just come to you? Like, where's your game store at? Let's play, let's learn, you know.
Which was kind of like one of your tiers that involved you guys traveling, um,
Hmm.
and being a part of that. I think that was a good idea. I know I don't think it's been touched yet. Hopefully, maybe one of them will hop on that. But I think that was a great idea. I like that as a tier. I also feel like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need
we
Yeah.
to.
we want to encourage that, you know, we want to encourage that play. It's fun for us, and you know, a lot of there's you can go to conventions to meet people who work in games, but conventions are big and crazy, and there's tons of people
Yeah.
there, and you know, a lot of us nerds are introverts, and conventions are like, you know, you either look forward to it or you almost like fear it. You're like, oh God, here it comes. But all right, I'm going, you know, and I think that comic shops and LGSs are nice, mellow, small venues to do some really cool events in. And, you know, we'd love to come hang out, play the game, show it off, sign some cards, you know. I think it would be a really good
Gosh, I
time,
almost feel
and
like
Have a pizza party.
have a pizza party.
eat some pizza, everybody. Let's go.
Johnny's
there-
gonna dress up as Smandergeist.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, I feel like now's the time I should be taking advantage of this whole voice acting thing. Why is my hat not thrown in the ring here? Come on, man, let's go. Anyways, do you know
It's in there, dude.
Throw it in.
Officially in there.
It's funny because you
We
know
need Epic. Get him on the
that was
line.
that was one of the things that really kept me around, in 2022, in talks that I was having with another previous TCG, and that was one of the things that was always, you know, yeah. Anyways, we'll go on with it. I digress. Ben Metazu. I just lost his comment. Where'd it go? I just had it here. Ben was asking. I feel like this is kind of an early question for you guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask it because it is Ben. Ben Metazu. If I can find what I just did with it. Actually, let's go ahead and go to my guy John Paul, fellow content creator. He's asking, will you guys be opening up another round of content creator applications for anchors?
So,
Yeah.
our applications are actually open. It was limited in the beginning just to kind of get a feeling for our requirements and what people were able to put forth in that. And honestly, they've been incredible. Working with the content creators and seeing what they've been doing and all their creativity has been amazing. And it just we just want more of them, you know, and like now is the perfect time with our Kickstarter campaign going on, like to just hop on board, help us push it out. Um, we really need all we can get, and I think that there's so many people out there with talent and drive and passion, and we're happy to talk with you. So just send us a message. We'll get you on board.
Which to speak on that too is the anchors, the the unsung heroes of Nom Nom thus far. You know, we want to really focus on our relationships, not just with the community, but the individuals that make all this happen. So, um, when we opened up our applications to become an anchor, we were kind of you know we wanted, like Tessa said, we wanted everybody, So if you want to be more involved with the world of Nom Nom, in that sense, just reach out to us. You know, um, we want everybody to feel like a part of this, and if that's what you do, then maybe you're cut out to be an anchor for the Nom Nom verse.
And I think
And
there's so many different types of content you can do, whether it's Whatnot, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. There's so much space for you here, and you know, we're pretty lax, like we're pretty easygoing. We just like chatting with you guys, seeing what you can do. The only thing we really require is just seeing content. So that's something that you're passionate about. Then I think that you'd be perfect.
Very,
it's
very, very
like
good.
we need 5 videos a month, and we need you to sell all our merchandise, or you're not an anchor anymore. I'm just kidding.
In a
Right, we're the
contract,
opposite.
sign the life away.
Nope, it's super lax. We just want to see content here and there, and we do plan to reward you guys for it as well,
For sure.
And speaking of which, in the midst of all this, Kickstarter craziness, we do have anchor packages going out. So if any of you last minute content creators want to get in on the anchor program, reach out to either one of us. Tessa is the best candidate to reach out to. But yeah, just fill out an application, let us know what you got, and this week we'll be sending out some doorway packs to these anchors to create content with and stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, should be fun.
I found Ben's question before I go there because it's I want to kind of get to a Kickstarter question.
I can answer Ben's question. I've seen Ben's question.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go for it then.
Okay. Well, why don't you read Ben's question?
All right. So what will the tournament?
Let's act like this is happening.
Okay. What will the tournament format look like? What will the tournament format look like? Will matches be a best of one, or will there be a time limit?
Yes. Matches will be a best of one, and there will be a time limit. Both. We will be capping the rounds probably at about 50 minutes. We might extend to an hour, but usually that 50 minutes is nice because players get time to walk around and stuff between rounds. I know that can be important. We're trying to find the best model that works for that. We're still kind of fitting that stuff together, but yes, definitely best of one. There aren't going to be side decks. I do imagine that with this structure of this game, people will be able to develop other formats of play besides just the standard PvP. And so if we start seeing some really cool like blitz formats, things that move faster or something, lightning format type stuff or whatever, we can make different structures that work around that. And I'm going to be brainstorming that with my research team. But for now, yeah, just basically one hour per round. And we also have a point system if you don't finish the game by taking the boss out. In certain tournaments, we're going to have a point format where for each player, or sorry, not each player, for each party member that you KO from the game, you'll get a point. And so if you don't take out the boss by the end of the game, whoever has the most party KOs will be declared the winner.
Okay. Hopefully that answered. Obviously it did. He said, "Ooh, I like that." Kickstarter question: will Kickstarter the starter decks Will they have anything exclusive in them? Will those be just whatever cards are in the Kickstarter decks? Will they also be like found in the booster boxes, or are those cards only found in those decks? And on top of that, are there any promos that come with them? And I do know that there's a pack that comes with it. Can you expound on that?
Yeah. So these cards will be found in the booster boxes and packs. However, the metadata will be marked slightly different to distinguish between this came out of a starter deck and this came out of a pack. Which I know can determine rarity and collectability and desirability within a card. So we um for future starter decks, some things may change in that regard. We might make starter decks that are extremely, maybe a little bit more exclusive as far as the content within them. um, which I wouldn't mind doing because starter decks are pretty straightforward, standard, item within TCGs. But what if we did make some that were a little bit more sought after?
Yeah,
Certainly an option.
we're definitely open to mixing things up like that. Like you said, the plan so far in this base set is just to keep things within the same base set with a few special exceptions that are kind of broken down in the stretch goals. Like we've got some additional cards that can come in from the stretch goals that'll affect the set. But most of the cards in the set will be found in the boosters and in the actual starter decks. But we're interested in mixing that up, and who knows, maybe we'll throw a surprise in there or something. But no promises right now. We're just working on trying to get all this stuff hammered out.
So any promo ideas or no promos?
Oh, there's promos. There's promos coming. Yeah, those are in the Kickstarter breakdown. So there's a few different levels. I think we've already unlocked what am I trying to think of? Box toppers. Yeah, we've unlocked box toppers, and we also unlocked the Kickstarter exclusive champion. That will not be in base set. That's just going to be a unique party member card that goes only out in the Kickstarter tiers as a reward. And that's added to the orders. And LGSs are getting some extras of those and things like that. So yeah, we have ideas for adding more exclusive cards to the set that won't be found necessarily in base set.
And that was the next question I was going to ask, was the box toppers. So there are going to be box toppers now in the Kickstarter boxes.
Yep.
Then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Any special surprises in those? Is there going to be like a one of one Willy Wonka thing going on, or?
Oh.
I'm not saying I'm not saying nothing.
All right. That's good enough. That's good enough. Alrighty, let's go back over to the people here, and see what we got. Let's see. Zuvid says 1,089, 971 with 274 backers on Kickstarter. About 5 hours in. Holy moly! So yes, again, if I had my stream deck, I'd be pressing all my damn sound effects in there if I could do it. But unfortunately, we're operating. Yeah, right. My favorite one is the go. That's my favorite one. Okay, don't clip that, please. Let's see. On the sketch cards, given the design layout, are these intended as actual playing cards or just art pieces?
Just art pieces. So once we get around to getting the sketch cards produced and stuff and handed out to the artists that have worked on the project, that will be more or less something personal for the artist to do and negotiate with the fans of the game and stuff. But yeah, I don't think they'll be playable. It would be cool. Maybe we'll do one sketch card series or something that can be played informally or something. But tournament play, I don't know. Like
I think if you did it, but you did it as a giveaway, that way nobody could say somebody like. I know it would take away from helping the business grow more with a special card like that, obviously. But I think it would also alleviate anybody going like, oh, he paid to win, or you know what I mean? Like if you did as like maybe a real special like a giveaway to maybe your like whoever backed the Kickstarter, right? And you don't have to be doesn't have to be now. You could do it a year from now and just say, hey, we know who all backed. Here's a special card. This card is gonna be playable, and we're gonna do it as a giveaway. So whoever wins it wins it, and then that way nobody can be like, yeah, he paid for it, and
What if we did something kind of out of the box where, we just had our November contest, a couple months ago, and that was great, and it's something I'd like to do every single year. But what if we did something where, you know, the artists don't get the official sketch cards one season, and, we actually give the people participating in the art contest the official sketch cards, and that's how they, send in their submissions and stuff.
That'd be
But
cool.
that's a cool idea.
yeah, as an artist, I think there's so much potential to let artists shine with a project like this. There's just so much real estate in this world that, like, as we bring on artists and guest artists and stuff like that, um, we're definitely going to be thinking of a bunch of different ways to create cool content, not just sketch cards, but we've thought of quite a few different ideas, and yeah, it's just a matter of time before we get to put them into action.
Yes, chef. Another question from TCG Baron. What other games have been an inspiration both in design and approach to launching this campaign?
A lot of games. We've grown up playing games our entire life, and Victor and I, one of the reasons we love working together is because we have a lot of the same influences. We grew up playing a lot of the same games and nerding out on the same stuff. So when we kind of came together to start to work out what exactly we wanted to do for Nom Nom Verse, we took, of course, TCGs have some good aspects. Board games and tabletop RPGs were a big inspiration. Dungeons and Dragons and things like that really make you think critically, give you options before you. Were definitely an inspiration, as well as like turn-based strategy games and real-time strategy games. We kind of wanted to take the idea of a tactical RPG like you'd play on PlayStation or something, like Final Fantasy Tactics or Ogre Battle on 64. I don't know if you guys know these gaming references. I'm old man, but they're really good games, and we were really inspired by those. But we wanted to take some of that shonen aspect too. Some of that, like, Ralph's our main hero. He's a kaiju hunter in Mount City, this massive city that occasionally, not occasionally, regularly, really gets attacked by kaiju, giant titanic monsters, and has kind of like firehouses, full of kaiju hunters called hunter houses that defend the city. And we wanted to take these concepts and give it an RPG twist, and rather than have I don't know if any of you guys have played Warhammer, but Warhammer is a really fun, deep strategy game, but it's intense. You have a book like this thick that you're like flipping through to check all your cards and their equipment and their levels and stuff. And we thought, let's just use cards for that, because it's so much easier to deliver that information on cards, but then take that board game movement strategy aspect and kind of smush them together.
Very cool, very cool. Let's see. Any time frame on when the second set will be released after Kickstarter?
So, we gave you June 1st to July on Kickstarter fulfillment. One thing we would like to get involved with this year is conventions and stuff, push the non-verse agenda in person, as well as these pop-up events if anybody grabs those tiers. But once we kind of establish, that foundation as a newly released game, and we're crossing all our T's, dotting all our I's as far as like getting people involved in playing the game. I think it's safe to say that, like, once all that kind of happens, we'll start planning the next set. We don't really want to miss a beat with this. So definitely can expect news on the next like 2 sets before the end of the year. So at least news and updates on release times and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted to cross the, let's get a successful Kickstarter first, and then get the base set out, and then once that happened, but now it's like it's happening. So just to give you guys a little teaser, as just to give you perspective into the project, is um, the next 2 sets will be kaiju and dino related, kind of themed off of those characteristics of our world, with Kaiju Horizons and Dino Dawn. But that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we'll keep that low. But let me add to that. The soonest that you would see like a new set from us can actually, that could be encouraged by the Kickstarter. So if we really start to crush it and we get up to our $400,000 stretch goal, that's gonna give us what we need to put together a Halloween mini set and a Christmas mini set for you guys this year for 2024. And also the intention would be get those delivered by Halloween and by Christmas, not have things showing up late. Do it all, up front, not have a pre-order thing, preferably be able to ship right out, or at least do it really fast since we're working in America here now. So yeah. So our plan is to just kind of work on the next set. If we get out the gate here and we don't hit that 400,000 goal, like Victor said, we'll be working on the next set right away, because we want to get that going as soon as we can. But yeah, you wouldn't hear much till next year, end of this year, whatever. But mini set for the holidays, I think, would be really cool. We just got to hit that 400,000 goal so that we can do it the right way, get it to you guys on time.
And so we got what, 29 days left, I think.
29 days.
29 days.
29 days left. 29 days left.
Right?
I don't know if it's gonna go by super quick or go by super slow, but I'm ready for it.
Hey Victor, do you still need the link?
Somehow
Do you want me to send it? I'm just now seeing that. Sorry, I'm way behind. I was like, what's this? Oh, he said send link here. Yeah, obviously you found it. Let's see here. Big question a lot of people are asking. 2024, are you going to be going to any Collecticon or conventions? Any of those type of things? Do you guys have plans for that? Whether it's one or many?
Yeah, so now that, we've got a successful Kickstarter on our hands, obviously our main focus is, get everything ready for that, get it to the printer, get everything in production. But our secondary concern is, outreach, and conventions are great outreach. So, yeah, pretty much. We're probably gonna make our little visit down to Florida, so we can be in person before we pull the trigger on production. But right after that, I think we're gonna start calling out to conventions. Probably after mid-year, so maybe possibly as soon as August, but anywhere after that, I say is fair game. And it will just be a matter of if there's space for us, and if we can get in or not. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll communicate that
at least
clearly
this year.
All right. So there's a big answer for a lot of people out there. Proto Pack 4s, are they still coming? Says Star North.
Yeah, we want you guys to get some stuff while you're waiting for the Kickstarter. That was the plan with those last proto packs. Same with Volume 3 is going to be showing up here. While some of you guys are waiting for the Kickstarter, we'll give you updates on Volume 3. Where now that we got everything settled with the Kickstarter, with the printer, we're getting Volume 3 settled with the US printers, and everything should be going well. Like you guys know, we had some adjustments to make. Doorways were printed on a thicker stock than we wanted. So before we moved forward with Volume 3, we wanted to hold up, dial those adjustments, and now we're going to put Volume 3 through. And then same with 4, we're going to sell that and get that printed before the Kickstarter shows up. So you guys have stuff out and open, and the prototypes really kind of tell the story of our card, design and us figuring it out. So you'll see kind of on the prototype designs there will be some changes like you've seen in the doorways and stuff, because we're dialing all this ourselves.
Nice. So for those, I know there was some questions. Not questions. I saw conversations earlier today. Once the Kickstarter information was dropped in the Discord yesterday, regarding pricing. Can we expand a little bit on, let people maybe know why pricing is where it's at? Is that something you can divulge to us? Maybe the reasons behind it, what's impacted or influences the reason why those are there, so maybe we can get maybe some of the people who are on the border of thinking about things, we can get them on board and understanding why that's at where it's at.
Yeah,
So,
sure. I mean, go ahead, Vic.
I was just gonna say that sorry, I kind of lost train of thought there. Go ahead, Johnny. You take this.
Yeah. So with the pricing, it's kind of a natural consequence of us wanting to be the American-made, TCRPG. We really want to support American businesses and, like we said, support LGSs, and with that comes certain decisions that are going to influence the price. And to us, we negotiated the price down to a point where we felt like it was still fair within the TCG world, and where we could give LGSs a price that we still thought was fair. The LGS tiers, they're getting those booster boxes for definitely less than $100. They're getting it down closer to 80. So we wanted to make those things make sense, but we do have to make adjustments for the card market, especially being here in America. We could do things cheaper overseas, but like we said, that incurs different risks. You mentioned, transport, Harley, that's a major risk. Things can get caught up, they can get stuck. In customs, you can get things lost, and you can incur fees that you didn't expect you were going to bump into. So we're trying to get a faster model with shipping, production, communication. We want everything to be quicker and more efficient, but that cost comes a little bit higher. So that's why the prices are where they're at.
And I know print paper prices have also been going through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
So I know paper's gotten very expensive.
Which actually, that kind of happened right in our transition from printer to printer when we moved over to Rex 3. So it was like right in that window. So it was really confusing for us. Like it went from this to this, and we were just like, holy crap. But we still got quotes from our last printer too, and it was just, they came back a little bit more mirrored. So it was just like, oh wow, paper prices have really been affected here. So that was another thing that played into everything, especially when all these proto packs have been kind of made to order too. So we threw up the sales in over here, and then this happened, and then over here it's like, so we're making the fixes and tweaks and stuff we need to, but so far so good.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not just even about the cards, but I mean, it also goes into the cardboard that's needed to package the materials up, and the paper that's used to print the rules on, and all the other fun stuff. I mean, all of that adds up real quickly. I know that much.
A lot of overhead that you don't really think twice about when you're like, hey, I got a game idea. It's like, well, you're gonna need something for all of this.
I mean, a great example is, like in the Pokemon world, which I think people either relate to either the Pokemon world, the Magic world, or the Yu-Gi-Oh world. And between the three major TCGs that have been around for almost 30 years, between all three, right? We always want to complain about how prices go up and things like that. And then like I have a friend who sells, he's an LGS, and I've gotten to see over the years how much they pay for things, and it's always like, man, how do you even make any profit? If you're buying, like, say, a booster box at $93 and you're selling at $100, by the time you paid for your booster box, then as a business, you got to pay, you know, the Visa, the financial fees that they hit you with, because most people, you know, charge, and you pay. Then you count shipping materials and all their stuff in there. It's like he walked away with, like, you know, a $3 profit on a box, and it just put things in perspective for me about thinking about things when there's a price on them. You know, like, wow,
Right.
you know, it's
Yeah.
there's a reason why sometimes things are the way they are, and especially as a Kickstarter when you're very starting up, uh, that's got to be a tough issue to deal with, because, you know, yeah, you is not proven yet. It's not proven yet in that light. It's been proven
Right.
that you've been around and you've put this whole thing together where we're at today. Yes, and for people to be confident in what they're doing, it's good to know as much as they can about why things are the way they are, which leads us to why the prices are the way they are on Kickstarter. And I just wanted to help people understand that a little bit. Is there anything in the Kickstarter? I'm going to bring it up right now. I'm going to bring the Kickstarter page up, and as I scroll down it, is there anything you guys want to point out on the Kickstarter that maybe you want people to notice or see, or then you want to comment on yourselves? Let's get that up here. All right, we got the window up. So we're here at the top, and you guys can see that I went ahead and made a sizable contribution there. Let's see here. We're at 1,901 now, so you're going up. You're going up. So the stream is working. I want my commission. EpicTubeHD33@gmail.com, guys. Let's see here. As we go down, is there anything you guys want to point out and say, like, hey, take a look at this. This is why we want you guys to know, you know, this is why this is the way it is, and such, things like that.
Well, you know, I will say right off the bat, we had planned to have more videos up top there. Kickstarter limited us at one right now. I'm trying to see if I can add more videos, because we had planned to have a learn to play up top, as well as an interview, like Tessa mentioned, with the creators. If I can get that figured, I will. And if not, we'll be getting it up on YouTube and get it linked so that you guys can go check those out. Because we did want to have a few more videos for you guys to click into here on the landing page.
Okay. All right. And there's also, for those that don't know, you can actually see on each of the tiers how well they're doing. So, you know, if you're contemplating, but you're on the spectrum of trying to figure out whether you should do something or not, you've got a booster box at 120. If we're basing booster boxes, let me ask you this while we're at it. In fact, let me get this off, because that just kind of brought up something in my mind. So the prices that are reflecting right now in Kickstarter, what is your guys' goal after Kickstarter for your prices? Do you plan on trying to bring those down? Will those costs come down because you're going to print a lot more for the sets? Do you have any idea or thought behind those that you can expound on?
So
Yeah.
our early relationship with Rex 3 has been truly amazing. So yeah, we're going in, you know, America, and so prices are a little bit increased, but I definitely believe through you know, consistency with this company, I definitely feel like we will get to a, a sweeter spot possibly. Um, but it's really hard to say, you know, because paper prices could go up again, you know, or what have you. But I just want to say that, like, from Doorway and Halloween, and just from them kind of on the outside looking in on the project right now, um, we love it. We love working with passionate people, and the print company that we're working with, and the individuals that we're in communication with are extremely passionate about what they do. And big shout out to Rex 3 and all their assistants for the project up to this point, because they've really gone above and beyond for us to get to the prices that we're at now. And so I don't see why that relationship grow as we do. So
Okay.
Yeah. And on that note, as we can expand our print runs, hopefully negotiate better pricing through consistent work, and bring those prices down, we will bring down prices for everybody to reflect that. We're not trying to increase our margin on the same price, repeatedly. It's more about having a consistent product that you can continue to make money, have a model that works, right? So as long as we can get these products out to you guys and make what we need to make to keep things going here at the company, we're going to keep on doing that. We're not trying to shave down so that we can continue to make more. It's more about just covering these costs as we learn about them and bump into them, and then adjusting from there as the print runs expand. So I hope that we can bring it down. But with this Kickstarter, this is a crowdfunding effort for a brand new company. So we have to get more than just the money for the products here. This isn't exactly a straight sale of products. It's also, a building of a company, so that's another reason the prices are where they're at. And again, we try to keep them at a reasonable level, but if we can negotiate things lower, we will. And you guys will hear that, and definitely the LGSs will hear that as well.
Good stuff for sure. Any idea for the game? Y'all have a great concept, a ton of freedom. Will there be any tamper-proof stickers on the booster boxes?
That's a good question. Booster boxes will be sealed, but a tamper sticker, like a void sticker, is a good idea, and honestly something that we just haven't confirmed yet with the printer, but we can look into that.
Yeah, I think.
Also, just real quick, sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to add that our boxes are also going to be a little bit different than booster boxes you're used to, where you got the top flap and you can fold it in and kind of make it a little display. Ours will be like sliding off the top and stuff like that too. So
This
something
could
to
be a
consider
box
as
within
well.
the box within a box thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, boxception.
Yeah, boxception. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I think that's a good idea. I really, one of the things that sold me on some of the newer TCGs that I had seen at like Collecticons and things like that were the fact that they had like the tamper seals on them. I think that makes such a it just feels so you feel more confident in purchasing the product,
Right.
especially from other places. And it's an unfortunate world we live in where people are resealing things, and they're doing too good a job of it. And the one thing that tamper proofs really do well is ensure that they leave some type of a residue and a mark on there, so at least you have some confidence when you're buying it. That's something
Right.
personally I know I really enjoyed about those things on the boxes.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And like I said, we'll look into it. We'll see. Not sure if Rex 3, works with that, but we'll be checking in on it, just because I know that that's a really nice thing and trustworthy thing for you to have. Like, for instance, I know the first Lorcana set wasn't sealed in plastic and didn't have a tamper sticker, and people were like, dude, I don't know. Anybody could have done
I
this.
mean, in Japan, they were, the boxes in Japan, they're coming, they now come with the rip seal. They've somehow figured in Japan to still open this without breaking the seal on it. So you would not know that they reseal it. And that's been a big problem in Japan with Japanese boxes.
That's like magic. That's crazy.
It's when they really want to do stuff, they call out. But the tamper seal to me does a really, really good job with, because like I said, it's when you try to pull it off, even if you pull it off as slow as possible, and it just does not allow it to happen. And I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ben is asking, will the Kickstarter double stitch mats, which by the way, for those that don't know, a lot of the mats that you get from either previous campaigns of other TCGs, even with Pokemon, they're really, really cheap and very inexpensive mats. These are going to be double stitched, very well put together mats. Will they have zones printed on them, or will they be plain with a logo or something?
So right now, the design that we have on the Kickstarter there is just the basic design that'll be kind of on the body of the playmat, but we can add zones to that. And we have on the Kickstarter there that some of these designs are going to shift a little bit and aren't fully final. but I'm planning to put zones onto that Kickstarter so that you guys know where the party slots are, where the lanes are, and everything. Because it's important to know that stuff. It is a symmetrical game setup, so once you have it memorized, it's pretty easy to know where stuff goes. But at first, I want people to not have to think about that so hard. So yes, there will be zones on the playmat.
Okay. Did when you guys were talking with Rex, did they go over like their collateral process to ensure that things will be evenly distributed? Because obviously people want to avoid the wing and the mapping issues as best as possible, because it can be a little bit annoying for people. Is that something that you spoke to them, or they made like to you a commitment that they'll make sure that stuff doesn't happen?
Yeah. So without, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So without like naming any names or anything like that, they work with some very large card companies, not necessarily trading cards, but different kinds of collectible cards, and that have worked with things like that. Randomized sets and rarities and things like that. So they're, and like Victor said, they're very passionate about getting things right and doing the project the right way. So I'm confident that we're going to be able to figure all that out. And we know that already their overall like facility is very clean and has a lot of good QC built into it already, just in terms of like the care and quality of the cards. So I'm confident that we'll get a good randomization and packing going on as well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What else do we got here? Let's see. I think, does anybody else have any further Kickstarter questions, preferably Kickstarter, so that way we can make sure everybody is understanding what's happening in the Kickstarter world here? I see right now, first of all, I think you definitely hit a home run with the Discovery tier. People seem to be extremely like interested in it. That sold out. I think that was maybe first to sell out, wasn't it? I was trying to monitor for my son's soccer match, and it was having a little bit of issues, so I couldn't tell, but it looked like it may have been the first one to sell out.
It went pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, it's fun, right? You get to get involved, and you'll see your card show up in the set, and we'll give you credit, for helping with the creation of that.
So that's a lot of people. Officially, you're gonna have your name on the card then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's freaking epic as hell. Yeah, that's why it flew by real quick. That alone will make a lot of people extremely happy to see their name on a card like that help design it. I think that's really cool. That might be probably one of the most fun tiers I think any Kickstarter may have put out, It's definitely a concept I'm sure many people were kind of afraid to do. But as long as you're overseeing it and you agree with with it, and you can direct them a bit, that's very, very cool, man. I like that.
Well, that's also the beauty of Nom Nom itself. In the world of Nom Nom, where you have dinosaurs and gunslingers and like everything in between. I guess we're just not afraid to bring in individual ideas and imagination and stuff. I mean, just look at how good November went over. I mean, it's crazy how many great ideas that came to the surface. And me and Johnny both believe that like doesn't matter how crazy convoluted it is, with proper storytelling, anything can make sense. In fact, like that's why Stephen King is so celebrated, is because the guy could tell you 1,000-page book about a lamp, and it'd be like one of the best books you've ever read. So it's just taking, no idea is a bad idea. It just needs to be plugged in to the right place.
Nice.
Yeah. And on that, I'll make it this quick, but Nom Nom's a great place to plug ideas into, because it's this world that exists between other dimensions and universes. There's all these doorways in Nom Nom that lead to other worlds, and things wander through these doorways and these portals and show up. So new species are always arriving, new cultures and civilizations, and new races are always arriving on Nom Nom and having an influence on the world. So when somebody's like, hey, I have an idea for a pterodactyl with a hammer for a face, we're like, sounds good.
Let's do it. And that makes explanation of things very, very streamlined. It's just like, well, there's got to be a door out there somewhere that allowed this creature to step through. And then not only that, and not to get too much into like storytelling and stuff here, the world itself influences evolution and adaptation at a very alarming rate as well. So that is another tool we use for explaining how things become kaiju and where dinos when a creature steps through, everything changes. It's very similar to introducing a new species to a new environment. It can have positive or detrimental effects over long periods of time, except in Nom Nom, Nom Nom will right itself within days, hours, weeks sometimes, it's express evolution.
So I don't want to ask too much because I kind of wanted to try and get a stream in at some point in the next, month or two, where we can really go over the story a bit, and share that with people, maybe in a, a bigger setting. But look, what is it? Oh, will Kickstarter cards be in the same card thickness as the doorway cards? Can you let everyone know exactly what happened, why they came out so thick, so that everyone that maybe not knows?
So we were definitely if you look at like volume 1s and volume 2s, that's a lot closer to what we wanted to do, which if you test volume 1s and 2s versus some other TCGs, you will notice that we are a little bit thicker even then. But then new printer, and conveying all our ideas to this new printer, and like Johnny said, they have quite a decent reputation with working with some pretty big names and stuff. So the quality's there, but the TCG realm is still fairly new to them as far as production of it. And so when we came over to Rex 3, trying to convey all these new ideas to them, I think, with our understanding of point sizes and all this other stuff, I don't think we realized how thick they were actually going to be until we got them. But, for those of you that don't know, TCGs, when they're being put together, there's the back, the front, there's the layer for the hollow pattern. And yeah, these all just added up to be a little too much. But we do think they still turned out, beautiful for what they are. But again, this is why it's nice to do these prototype cards. And I just hope, since, prototype cards will be kind of the holy grails of people's collections, I just hope that the differences can be cataloged and hard to imitate, in the future and stuff too.
Oh, of course.
With all these different changes and stuff. But we have talked to Rex 3 pretty extensively on what we want and what we want to change. And like I said, we will be scheduling a trip down there to oversee all these details and make sure it's but we're looking more at something closer to the standard card thickness and obviously the width and length of
we're aiming for 12 point, which is like the standard Magic playing card, flexible, has a little bit of rigidity, but flexible and doesn't wrinkle when you bend it and anything like that. So that's what we're going for, and Rex has heard that, said that they're going to make sure they get that down as close to 12.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have my card camera. I don't have my card camera up, so I can't really show it. But in the card, I mean, is there a layer for for security security in here? Has anyone actually tested that yet? Here, let's go ahead and test it. See what happens. I don't know. Do we see a layer in there? I'm just joking, guys. I'm sorry. You know I'm not gonna rip that card off.
I saw the Pokeball and I was just like,
I couldn't. I was like, yeah. I will be. If you guys don't know, for those that are still hanging out with us, I know it's been a lot longer than I was expecting to go. I know they're very tired. I'm tired. We're gonna wrap this up here.
yeah.
But in my video that I did opening these up, I'm giving away 2 cards, so there'll be 2 winners. You gotta go to the video and you can see how you can enter to win one of these sample Nom Nom cards that I have here, and we'll give those away. Again, we're probably gonna do it, I think, next Tuesday the 12th is what I think I said we were gonna do it on. But yeah, we'll be giving 2 of these away, and you'll be able to see for yourself. I kind of like, as a collector, I personally kind of like the cardstock thick like that. I think it's just feels a little bit cooler to me. It feels a little bit more valuable, I guess. I don't want to use the word valuable. Everybody knows that's the last thing that should have in my mind, but it just feels more valuable, I guess. I don't know. But I did see where it caused a bit of a problem on a lot of the cards, unfortunately. I'm guessing when that's such a thick cardstock, when the cutters came down on it, I could see that cardstock being tough enough for that cutter to kind of resist it and cause a little bit of a bend there, because you can kind of see where I've seen the same bend, I think, on a lot of other guys' cards, people's cards, almost in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah,
what
they
it
don't
is.
have that flexibility, that normally cards just
Yeah.
whoop, whoop, and it's fine. But
Yeah.
these being thick, it was like, "Crank."
Zero give, and not to put my packaging skills on blast here, but that could have been part of packaging, which, if it was, I apologize, but I don't think I could have anticipated the sturdiness of these cards. And yeah, they just have no give to them at all. And to those out there that got slight little bends here and there, I'm sorry, but we'll do better.
It happens. I mean, honestly, it's in the world of making a sample card and trying new things, man. It happens. So I think most people understand. Let's do a real quick lightning round, so we can get these last couple questions in that people have. Let me see here. All right, so we're gonna try and make this real quick. All right, starting off with, if you reach extremely over your goal, would you surprise your backers with a surprise, maybe?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If we go above and beyond 500,000, you best believe we're gonna be spoiling the heck out of y'all.
Absolutely.
We really will.
Absolutely.
We really are adamant about getting this to a place of sustainability, and yeah, we want to literally reinvest, as much as we can back into the project. We want to give you guys the best Kickstarter experience, which is why we are going with a slightly different box. And the boxes you guys have seen, as you can see, they kind of look like an artifact and stuff. We want, y'all's displays to look nice, and so,
I know you can just hear the drain, how drained you guys are.
Yeah.
It's hard to have energy.
Bro, I'm gonna like the moment the stream ends, I'm just gonna like fall off to the side.
So again, we're gonna try and make this a little quick here. Get some of these in here. Oh my I guess I was behind in my comments. I didn't realize it. Oh great. How does everyone feel as they see the pledge about to hit 200 in one day? Congratulations to you guys.
Crazy.
John Paul.
It's crazy.
Don't know how to feel.
Yeah, we're in shock, I think is the best way to put it. We're in shock and we can't wait to get, we're gonna like crash for a minute, like hyper speed hibernate, and then get back and continue the grind, because there's still a lot to do. This just means it's real now, you know?
Will Kickstarter cards be gradable by PSA? From Metazuminus.
I think that it,
maybe not right away, but PSA, they literally told us once your base set is out and stuff, and you guys are a little bit more established, you know, a very, very strong maybe on all that. So PSA definitely. CGC's already grading our stuff, which is just wild to me. But yeah, we've definitely had conversations with a couple other grading companies as well. But PSA, not right away, but they are aware of us. We've had conversations with them. We just got to get this base set out, and I believe it's just a matter of sending in the data, and that's it.
All right. As far as here's another one. Just hopping in, says Dakota. Have they discussed how many hollow types there will be?
Like
guess
different
variants?
hollow patterns.
I'm thinking either that or yeah. I'm assuming that. I guess.
So
Well,
on
let's
that note,
answer both
Go ahead, Vic.
questions. So
Yeah.
we got rare, super rares, super duper rares, phenomenal rares, and astronomical rares. Those are all cards that will come in a holographic form. However, you have unlocked one of these already, where we have upgraded the card look, and the hollow pattern too. It's it's called blinking blocks, but we chose it because since we are going for this retro video game feel, we wanted something that was like reminiscent of 8-bit, you know, and so if you guys look at that, you'll see that we're aiming for this 8-bit hollow pattern.
Yep.
Yeah, it should look pretty cool. We're really excited about that.
It's very nom nom.
So are these gonna be? Are you gonna have like little asset? Are these assets that will be hiding in the background, or how's that work?
Like the hollow pattern, rather than just being a rainbow foil. Up until now, we've just been rainbow foils, which you just kind of distinguish parts of the card as non-foil and then parts of the card as foil, and that's how you make, you know, cool effects with the rainbow foil. But we'll be switching out the rainbow foil for this blinking blocks now that we hit that stretch goal. So all the hollow patterns will now be this pixelated kind of Tetris-y looking thing, which is really gonna kind of take it to another level. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah,
Very,
it's
very
truly
cool.
gonna make the special effects on the backgrounds stand out a lot more in a cool way.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got that in, and then East Coast asking, will the centering on the cards be improved as well in the Kickstarters compared to the doorways?
I mean, I think our goal is to always continue to improve. You know, it's hard to say for sure what is and isn't definitely going to happen. Mistakes happen. There are always errors in printing. But, you know, like I said, their facilities are really efficient, really clean and high quality. And so I would assume that, yeah, as they become more familiar with our guidelines and how to print these TCG cards the way we want them printed, the more consistent the product and the alignment and things like that will be, the centering, stuff like that.
I would say the
Also,
card stock played a role too. I would say.
I was just about to say, going back to what you said, Harley, about, you know, when something that heavy getting cut into, definitely probably played into it. But I think once we get, you know, something a little bit more standard like 12 point, I think the cutting is going to go over a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've kept you guys a long time tonight, a lot longer than I was expecting. Because even for, like I said, for myself, I would definitely like to do it at some point in time if we can manage to get together again and just talk more about, I would say, the story, so people get a good idea of that, and then we can talk more about this in-depth stuff. Again, tonight's focus was really just trying to be on Kickstarter, so people feel comfortable with going in and making their pledge and deciding, which tier they wanted for themselves. Since yesterday, I basically factored out that, first two of the best tiers, which is basically dungeon and the artificer tier, those definitely seem to be, some of the best tiers for your value. Because if you think about, like I said, a booster box is 120 by itself. If you grab that dungeon tier, you're already winning because you're gonna get the, 2 booster boxes and you get the starter decks with it as well. And I think you get the play mat. You get 2 play mats. So that's a huge win on the 250 just for you guys. If you haven't broken them down yet, that's a really big one there for people who may have a very minimal budget. And they got plenty left. There's 400 left. I know a lot of people were basically saying to me, why were they doing today as a launch? Obviously everyone always thinks with their paycheck, right? So everyone's like, I don't get paid till Friday. I don't get paid till Friday. So
let's just say we were tired of pushing it off. We said it was gonna be Tuesday. God dang it, we made it Tuesday.
yeah,
It's up for all month though, guys. So you have plenty of time. And the more growth we have, the more we open up different possibilities. And the print run. If we stay on track like we've been doing, we're going to be expanding the print run, so which means more boxes.
Not more Kickstarter boxes, more boxes in the future.
all right. Well, I think that's gonna pretty much do it. And again, take a look at Kickstarter, guys. If I don't have the links in there now, I'll have to put them back in again because I had to refresh something. But I'll make sure I put, if you want to join the Discord, I'll have that link in the description below. And again, I'll have the Kickstarter, which I know I didn't get a chance to do yet. I'll put that in the link below. Again, you guys have 29 days to figure out if this is something you want to support and be a part of. That this is my very first Kickstarter that I have chosen to be a part of, so I'm really I'm going in. I'll tell you what, I'm going in on this because of the 3 people that you see now in front of you. And I've been sold that, I think they're in this to make a really good game for everybody, a good collectible for everybody. And again, I'm very, very happy to be a part of being in this beginning stages, guys. We don't get often
Glad to have you, dude.
to get a part of it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Speaking of which, before I forget, Harley, you mentioned you were giving away 2 Halloween cards.
Yes.
I'd like to see your 2 Halloween cards and throw in 4 doorway packs, 2 for each Halloween card you're giving away.
Oh, nice. So there you go. So again, you got to go to the video that I'm opening them up. I think it was 2 videos ago now, and I will be using random name picker. And what we'll do is we'll go live, and I think I'm gonna do that on. I think I said the 12th is the date. I believe I said I was gonna do it. So you have until the 12th to get your name there. You got to go watch the video, see how to get enrolled, unless you're smarter than the average bear and you figure it out by just looking at everybody else's comments. That's cool too, guys. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Again, thank you so much, Johnny, Tessa, Victor. You guys absolutely killed it. Again, congratulations to you guys putting this whole thing together and bringing it together. And I'll be honest with you, I think with everything that has gone on over the past couple months, and even for some of us longer than that, I think this is going to bring a lot of people back together in a time that's been kind of rough for a lot of people. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a good, positive thing. And I'm excited to see what you guys continue to bring to the table, guys. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you for having us, Harley.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I want to say a big thank you to everybody in the chat. I greatly appreciate your guys' questions. I'll say goodbye to you guys. Have a good night to you 3 as we get ready to close this stream out here. And whoops. I messed that up, didn't I? All right, everybody. I want to thank every single one of you who stuck around for this. From TCG Things, Ernesto, man, everybody. Zoo Vids, Noah, Poing 333, East Coast. You answered a lot of questions. Of course, MetaZoo Medicine here, spicing it up with a lot of questions. Jeremy Edmondson, Big C, Star North. You know, there's so many names. I can only go so far before it cuts off on me. MetaZoo, Ben, Rob to Robs. Big shout out, by the way, to the South Bay Caster crew out there. And, of course, all those awesome Aussies from Dean and Grendel. Thank you guys so much. Kiba. Again, I want to say a huge thank you to Kisi, my guy Fantasma Officiel. Again, thank you guys so much for the donos tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Also, Big C for donating, and of course for our new subscribers that we picked up tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Long night. Hope this information helps you guys make an informative decision. Also, maybe you now understand why some things are the way they are, prices are where they are, and we can go and continue supporting what I think is going to be a phenomenal story, a phenomenal TCG. I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for everything. I'm dead tired right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are tired as well. It is now 1:09 here on the East Coast, guys. But that's going to do it. Thank you for smashing the like button if you did, and if you didn't, go ahead and do that for us. Subscribe if you're not subbed, and we'll bring more videos to you here shortly, guys. Have more epic adventures with us here at EpicTube HD, guys. Peace out, and see you in the next one, everyone. Bye.